So I want to talk about section 1.3 today, and this one's called visual patterns. And we're going to be using the things that we've been talking about previously with our patterns, only instead of using numbers, we're going to be talking about using shapes. And that's kind of the difference in this visual sense. So a visual pattern, we're going to say, is a sequence of pictures or objects that have been created on a rule. And just like before, it's the key to this is the rule. Sorry, my fans are going today because it's a little bit loud or a little bit hot, so my paper might be moving around a little bit. So we're going to be investigating this rule that we come up. And we typically call this a pattern rule, like we've been talking before. Now, I could write a visual pattern that kind of looks like this. It could be circle, square, triangle, triangle, circle, square, triangle, triangle, circle, square. And what we'd be looking for here is be looking for a pattern unit. And that's the smallest amount of something that we can say is going to be repeated over and over. So our pattern unit is going to be this circle, square, triangle, triangle. Because this is the piece that gets repeated over and over. So this pattern unit gets repeated and put and stamped over this pattern unit, and I can use this pattern unit to then predict what's going to be coming next. If I were to write, what are the next two shapes in this sequence? Oh, I have no idea. Well, I hopefully should, because I can use this pattern unit to say, well, of course what's coming next is triangle, triangle. Let's write our definition for the pattern unit. And the pattern unit was the smallest repeating set. Alright, now we can see these visual patterns in a lot of things actually. You can even notice on my page that there is a visual pattern. Now, this does not take a lot of predicting to know when the next lines are going to be going on. We can also see a lot of visual patterns in architecture when things are repeated over and over. But in this section, you're really going to be doing only a couple of these visual patterns, and then you'll be remembering and kind of refreshing what we talked about in the last two sections. And that was creating rules and then predicting what's coming next. For example, one quick example that we could look at is, say we have a pattern that looks like this. Starts this way, goes to this, 1, 2, 3, and the third one looks like this. What I could ask is, how many triangles in the fourth or the 10th? And this could be a visual pattern that I might need to create a rule for. So one like this, I can see that the first pattern has 1 triangle in it. The second pattern has 4. And this final one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, has 9. And I can start to see a little bit of a pattern here if I kind of know my squares. So my next thing that would come up is probably going to be 16. At least that would be my guess. And I could build it out to test it, and I could build all the way to the 10th, but it's much easier if I find a number to get this figured out. So you're going to be extending the patterns. and coming up with the rules. This section's a bit easier than the two that we've already done, so I don't anticipate you having a lot of trouble with it. But if you do, feel free to ask a friend, ask an adult in the room, or feel free to ask me. All right, go ahead and good luck.